girls upstairs, all you guys got your hats. We're going to be in the sun in a little while, so feel free to put those on. I'm not only your driver, I'm the guy who made you those hats. Yeah, same guy. There's a camera at the front of the bus. If you can hear me okay, give me a nice big wave to the front of the bus. How you doing, upper level? Cool. Now, there's a lot of places where it's hot. I'm going to try to find some shade for you wherever we can. All I ask is try to keep your arms, legs, and heads inside the bus at all times for your own safety. There's two places where the trees come in contact with those walls, and I just don't want you to get hurt. I don't want to stand up. You can stand on the floor, but not on the seats. The bus will be starting and stopping. I want to make sure you stay safe. And that goes double the lower deck. How you doing, adults? All kids upstairs. Did you plan it that way? Put the kids up there. We're going to fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the gates are closed. We're on the bus. The only thing left to do is ask you, who wants to go see some animals? The San Diego Zoo. Make some noise! As we leave the dock at a burning speed of less than 1 mile an hour. Woohoo! Welcome aboard the San Diego Zoo bus tour. I am your driver, and they call me Zoo Man. I'm the only guy at the park they call Zoo Man. I'm in an especially good mood today because about 24 hours ago, we had a little bit of rain overnight, and as a result, right before you got here, it's like they washed the jungle for you. All the flowers today are brighter. All the bird feather colors are amazing. You do not need Fujifilm or Photoshop. All of your photos are naturally boosted. Some of the best animal viewing we have had for months today. You really picked the right day to get here. On the left-hand side is the only thing in the zoo you've seen before. This is the entrance where you first came in. This is exactly what you look like when you first got here. You were sitting on a planter with your little sandals going, on the phone, haven't looked up once all day long, just been sitting there, not doing a thing, just sitting there. 3,500 animals, and you never left the planter. On the right-hand side, we've got beautiful flamingos. Look at this. Look at the colors on these birds. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got pink flamingos, you got the white flamingos. By the way, the white flamingos are the baby flamingos. All flamingos start off white, then they turn pink only if they eat enough shrimp. There's a chemical inside a shrimp shell that changes the bird's feathers from white to pink. But here at the San Diego Zoo, it is too expensive feeding birds shrimp every day. We found out that sprinkling a harmless food coloring on their food works exactly the same way. Here's the areas the bus tour cannot get to. These are some of the things you got to find for yourselves later on. So listen carefully. If you came to the zoo to see the monkeys and apes and gorillas and primates, they're down the road on the right. To make it easier to find your favorite monkey, they're arranged by size. They go from smaller to larger as you go down that road all the way to the great apes. Just ahead to our left, very important, the only existing exit of the zoo. You want to get out. That is the only way out. If you're not out of here by 5, you're part of our permanent collection. Further down the road to our left is that sky ride. See that sky ferry going right across the sky. It's a great way to get from one side of the zoo to the other. But if you don't like heights, please stay away from the sky ferry. I warned my mom, she has acrophobia. She said, it's okay. It's only 5 minutes, I'll be fine. Longest 5 minutes of my life. She screamed from one side of the zoo to the other. It sounded like a pterodactyl. All the way over. If you don't like heights, stay off that thing. Further down the road, all the way at the end, for the kids, we got lots of kids upstairs, the Children's Zoo. It's right next to the exit for the adults. Because there's games and activities, physical stuff for the kids to do. You're supposed to take the kids there before you leave, let them play for an hour, then put their sleeping, quiet bodies in the car and give yourself a little break while you're driving home. That's what the Children's Zoo is, right next to the exit. My favorite building of the zoo is directly in front of us. It's the Klauber Shaw Reptile House. Inside there, 2 baby dragons. Baby Komodo dragons inside the snake house. The building was named after Lawrence Klauber, a man who lived here in San Diego. He was the world's #1 authority on deadly snakes, and they knew that when he passed away. Nobody wanted to go in the house to get him out when he had his heart attack. I'm not making this up, it's true. He invented antivenom that saved thousands and thousands of lives, but also he discovered 20 snakes that no one had ever seen before. They named the snakes after him. They named the building after him. And I don't know all this because I like snakes. I know it because I have to. Lawrence Klauber was my great-great-grandfather. My name is Christopher Klauber. They called him the Snake Man. They called me Zoo Man because I'm the only guy who works at the zoo who was raised as a child in this park. And And as a result, I can now duplicate every animal sound at the zoo. I'm not kidding. All 3,500 of them. It's 9 times out of 10, when you actually hear an animal noise on a TV show, it's not really an animal. It's me. I was the guy. I'm not making this up. All the sound effects. I wish it was. I mean, yeah. Last year it was the entire island of Wasp. How is that for a weird credit? On the right-hand side, tigers are always tough to see because they love to wait until late in the afternoon before they ever come out. But I promise I'll do my best at every enclosure. Hold on. Well, so far all I'm really doing is making these nice people on the street very nervous. I'm sorry about that. It just occurred to me the worst thing you can do is make a tiger noise behind someone while they're looking in the enclosure trying to see what... The tigers are hiding well from the hill. The reason they do that is that late in the afternoon, that's when they actually come out, right before closing time, because they know the bright orange coat makes them so easy to see. It's a terrible camouflage until the sunset, and that's when they kind of blend in. But right now, we've just got people all staring, wondering, where's the tiger? I heard the tiger. I heard the tiger down there. He's behind you. By the way, if you want later on, I will teach you how to do the elephant noise. It is the best way to get people to move out of your way when you're shopping at Walmart. It's very effective. How you doing, guys? Yeah, that's what the mirrors are for. Anyway, as we move ahead, see, we have these mirrors. I can look at those and figure out when the bus is coming. As we come around the corner, I'm going to be messing with people as we go throughout this, so just get used to it. What animal's responsible for killing more human beings in Africa than any other animal besides maybe people or diseases and mosquitoes? What do you think? Number one? Snake. Not the rhino. No. Who said hippo? Upper deck, I heard you. Yeah, hippo. Congratulations. A lot of people don't get that because, let's face it, hippos are big and clunky, and you wouldn't think they'd be able to get you, never mind hurt you, but it turns out they're also vegetarians. So they're not attacking people for food. They're attacking us because they just don't like you. How many animals can you say that about? It's very specific towards people. Look underneath the planter here, through the glass, you'll see a hippo there. There's a lady who shows up here every week. I love her. She calls herself the Hippo Lady. You think my voice is scratchy. She's great. She said, I love hippos. I love the hippos because they're such great swimmers. They swim so good. You know how a hippo swims? They weigh 3 tons. They sink to the bottom like a rock, and they walk across the bottom of the pool. That's a hippo swimming. This is one of the express buses, or as I sometimes call them, the expressionist bus. Very serious. As they move ahead, they don't have a tour. They just get picked up and dropped off. I'll talk more about that in a minute. See all that beautiful bamboo on the right? You know, we're one of the few zoos that have the facility and the wherewithal to actually feed our animals off the ground. If you figure out what the most popular plants are here, you can figure out what the most popular animals are. We have to have all the plants to feed them. Bamboo left and right, obviously for... That's right, giant pandas. And eucalyptus is everywhere for koalas. Yeah. You look in the hut. Look in the hut. There's a little monkey sleeping right there. You see him? There's another one way back there by the door, too. And there's another one even further. Here comes one right near the front. Everybody makes a big deal about gorillas being so intelligent because they can talk to you in sign language. Nobody ever talks about little smart monkeys like these. These are so intelligent, they actually go fishing. Out in the wild, they take a leaf off a tree, and they carefully float that leaf on the surface of the water to lure fish closer to them. They're actually baiting fish using leaves. Then they pull the fish right out of the water using just their hands. They are really fast and smart. Alan's swamp monkey. They're from West Central Africa. All right, as we come around the corner, we just got started. I really should have paced myself for this. 3,500. We've got 2 nice people right in front of me. Hold on. Out of my way. Sometimes the animal noises pay off. There you go. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, miss. Thank you. Love the hat. Okay. People always ask me, are the animals really happy at the zoo? I can promise you that these coming up to our left are very happy. Because other than the flamingos, they do not belong to us. They are here on their own free will. Year after year, the same birds just keep showing up during their migration, and we got tired of chasing them away. You're looking at the most beautiful pond filled with freeloaders. They just show up here, we feed them, we take care of them, we love them, don't get me wrong, we love all the animals. Out there, you'll see all the ducks that are trying to hide away from that TV show, Duck Dynasty. And then you'll see the white white egret right there in the middle in the water, and up there is more white egrets. If you look up in the tree, the gray herons are out there. There's a couple of pelicans in the middle that just flew in this morning. I got to keep up on all the birds in the area. This is the most important thing. The one thing on the tour that saves you more trouble than anything else. You all got a stamp on your hand, right? Okay. Don't leave this tour without, if you don't have it, make sure I give it to you. Because that stamp gives you unlimited trips on this bus. You can come back and take this tour again, as many as you like, with another driver who probably doesn't know as much and is far less animated, okay? But also the stamp gets you on a different kind of vehicle. The Kangaroo Express bus, that's the one that just left in front of us here. Now, this park is huge, and your map doesn't really have a good legend. Have you noticed? There's nothing on there that tells you how far away things are. This place is huge. 120 acres. 125 when you count the parking lot. Don't walk it. You don't have to. You paid not to, okay? Use this tour to figure out where stuff is. Use the Kangaroo Express to get there every 15 minutes. Those buses will come and go from those stops. So you're not waiting around with the kids too long in the sun. Let me show you what the sign looks like. Yellow kangaroo sign to our left with a number 2 on it. That's the best one for the giant pandas. You get off on 2, go back behind us, and you got the lesser panda on the way to the greater panda, all flat, level ground from here. Just do not confuse that with this number 16 map locator coming up to our right. Now, you can wait there all day long. No one is coming to get you. You've got to wait by the yellow kangaroo sign. How many of you have taken a tour to San Diego Zoo before, by a show of hands? Oh, great. Have you noticed this tour is a little different? Yeah, I know. The film crew in the back went, this is very different. I don't know what this is. Yeah. Let me throw in some new stuff for you so you're not getting the same stuff all the time. Over on the left, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But that is the most important zoological site of the San Diego Zoo. That's where last year we found a whale. Did you hear about this? No? We found a full-size, fossilized whale right next to Interstate 163. Usually when you find a fossil, all you get is a little piece of the animal. This time, the entire whale was intact from nose to tail, 24 feet long, the length of the bus we're sitting on right now. We called up a guy at the Natural History Museum. He was so excited. He got here in 5 minutes. I couldn't believe it. It's a big guy. I didn't think it could move like that. He said, really big. He said it was a baby, prehistoric baleen whale over 3 million years old. Wow. They picked up the entire thing. They have it intact right now at the Natural History Museum in Balboa Park. The most important discovery that we ever made here was not by our doctors or our keepers. Our construction workers found a fossil, just trying to get the drainage area bigger to get the water out of here during the rainy months. We had no idea it was there the whole time. I have lots of friends who are visiting me from the East Coast, and they always say the same thing to me. They say, Zoo man, you frighten people from New York. You frighten us. You frighten us. You frighten us. Let me tell you what. You're too happy. You know, you're too happy. It kind of freaks us out. You know, you're like overly happy all the time. It's very difficult to be depressed when you work in a place where flowers bloom every day of the year. It doesn't matter when you get here. Something is blooming. You're going to find all these beautiful orange flowers all over the zoo. Coral trees, we love those. The great American construction worker roaming freely in his natural habitat to our right. Hello. Hey. Probably looking for more fossils. And as we make our way up the hill, the California state flower, the poppy. We got purple daisies. Oh my goodness. White and red hibiscus. And if you look way back on the right, we're looking for a couple of zebra on the hill. They love to hang out near the green huts. You have to look underneath those green huts. Now here's your only tough question of the tour. Are they black with white stripes or white with black stripes? You got a 50-50 shot here. What do you think? They are black with white stripes. Shave off their outer coat. Their undercoat is completely black. And the stripes on a zebra are as unique as your fingerprint. We don't have to mark them or tag them or take a piece out of their ear. We just take a photograph of them, put them in the library. They have their own built-in, completely unique barcodes. As we make our way up the hill. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. And that was me, so you know. All right. Look straight back, all the way at the end of the water. Do you see the polar bear staring at you? Right there. I'm going to stop the bus so you can stand up and take a look. Polar bears are the biggest of the bears. They're also the world's largest land carnivore. And you wouldn't think that anyone would argue with me on that point. People love to argue animal trivia. Every so often I have a bus tour where there are guys from Russia, very proud Russian man. The Russian brown bear was the biggest bear ever found. The Russian brown bear. Yes. Biggest bear ever found was a Russian brown. That's true. But polar bears average a little bit bigger. And a polar bear stands up on its hind legs about 10 feet tall. 800 to 1,000 pounds. One paw, no arm, just the paw, 35 pounds. Imagine getting hit with a 35-pound weight. That's what it's like when a polar bear takes a swipe at you. And yes, it's happened to me. That's why I'm very happy to be driving the bus today. Polar bears also it's not their size. Everyone says, they hunt alone. That's what Nanook means. Nanook of the North actually came from polar bear, which means hunt alone. Nanook means polar bear, right? Yes, they're big enough to hunt alone, but that's not what makes them good. Their sense of smell. Most animals have distance or accuracy. A polar bear has both. A polar bear will smell the breath of a seal. When a seal comes up through the ice to get air, it'll smell its breath within 1.5 miles. And that bear goes right back to the exact spot, and they sit down and they wait patiently for the seal to return so they can make the kill. They are that good. A lot of people did not want to have polar bears in San Diego when they first got here. Oh, they were all in the newspaper. How can you do it? How can you have polar bears? It's so hot in San Diego. Well, here's what we did. That water out there is ice cold. They got to refrigerate that down to 57 degrees every day. Huge job. But my favorite thing, you're going to see little piles of carrots out there. Okay, that's not normal. Where would they get a carrot? Really? But here at the zoo, they love them. They eat carrot sticks. They do the back stroke and they love it. I'm not making it. And thin down their coat. They have a layer of fat that's their insulation out in the wild. And thin that down, and they've been happy here ever since. They were in the newspaper a couple of weeks ago, and I laughed my head off because they said that the polar bear passed their hearing test. That's actually what they said. Which means somehow they gave a polar bear a hearing test. You have to use your imagination on these things. And apparently they have perfect hearing, which is wonderful. Because what if they didn't? I mean, who's dumb enough to go into an enclosure with the world's largest meat eater and try to put a miracle ear on the head of a polar bear? It sounds like something they try to make me do. Those are the polar bears. Are you getting enough information? As we make our way up the hill. I know, I live in a library. All right, get used to it. Let's get blah, blah, blah. Make our way up the hill. We got 3 or 4 hoofed animals all back to back. I love having them back to back like this because you can kind of compare them and get an idea of what they have in common. In fact, I'll show you how easy my job is. I'll make you an amateur zoologist before we get to the top of the hill. Ready? Hooked animals. They all do the same thing. They love to make a circle. They look in different directions for protection. It's called you watch my back, I watch yours. You want to find the babies? You put the babies in the middle of the circle and surround them with adults on all sides. Are you going to see that coming up to our right? Notice the hooked animals. They're all looking in different directions, right? And they've all got a black stripe underneath their eye. They have the black stripe under the eye. That's got the Gerenuk is what they're called. Next door you got the Cuvier's gazelle up against the wall. Also black stripe directly under the eye. Cuts down the glare of their terrain. Like football players who put black stuff under their eyes against Seymour. So you see an animal with that black stripe under its eye 9 times out of 10. African animal. Pretty simple, huh? There you go. That's all you need to know. As they make their way up the hill. We've got Sky Ride. Give them a nice wave. I know it seems like a terrible long line, but keep in mind they had a choice. Either take the Sky Ride over or walk the 120 acres all the way back to the entrance. I think they made the right choice. Right inside the 4D theater, there's 2 4D theaters. There's this one, there's another one in the Children's Zoo area, and they're great shows. The kids love them because they get to see their favorite characters in a brand new production, and it's all new stuff, and it's in 4D, so they see it and they feel it in the whole night. The thing is, adults love those because those are the only 2 air-conditioned theaters we got. So on a hot day, you want to cool down for 25 minutes, it's a great way to go. Another important express bus stop coming up to our left. That's the 2 young ladies with hair color not found in nature. We got stop number 3 on the kangaroo bus. And stop 3 is great for the Sky Ride, the polar bears, and my favorite area of the zoo. Everyone's got their favorite. No, it's not the 2 people behind the do not enter sign. Other side. Okay. And before I left, they asked people what they wanted to see. Number one on the list was show me a lion. I want to see the lions. They were off display for about a month. They've only been back for about 3 days. Your timing is amazing. Lioness, the female, is up here closer to the front. The male lion is sleeping on his little platform a little bit further back. Hold on. Look at her. Oh, she hears me.
Oh, look, there he is with the lion.
Now, I got to tell you, we got lots of kids on the bus, and you always get the title Lion King. They have the Lion King cartoon. And you've also got the Lion King musical. And you cannot avoid that silly title. And I mean, it is silly. I'm going to go even further. It's a stupid title, okay? And here's why. The male, who they call the king, sleeps. He marks his territory, and he fights with other males. That is it. The lioness, the one up here, she should have been called the king. Hold on. I'm being called. They're asking where I'm at. Hold on. I've been on the road for about 20 minutes. The guy asked me, where are you? I'm at SeaWorld. Where do you think I am? I love when they call me with arbitrary questions. I'm doing a tour. What are you doing? All right, back to the lioness. The lioness. Look at the size of her shoulders. Look at her jaws. Look at her claws. She does the hunting. She does the killing. She does the child raising. She will make the kill. Then she drags the food all the way back to the male. Then he eats first. And he eats more, and they have the nerve to call that guy king of the jungle. It's the stupidest thing. And they're nowhere near the jungle either. They're from the dry grassy regions of Africa. It was a bad name right across the board. Hold on tight. I know we have lots of big cat fans. Keep looking to your right. Let's see if we can find a jaguar. Its purr is a little higher. Wow, up in there. So, hold on. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, it's going to be a tough one because she has been difficult all day. And the jaguar is one of the most beautiful cats in the world. The problem is it has a black rosette pattern on its fur. Rosette with a black spot on the inside, which makes it great for hiding. So if she could be in the shade 10 feet from you and you would never see her. Oh, you see where the keeper is? The cat's nearby. The keeper's right. I know that the cat is right next to him. I can't see her from this angle, but I'll try to some people can. Hold on tight. Something special for all the kids. Kids, do people still read Dr. Seuss books? Are they still popular? You stick on Dr. Seuss? Yeah. The real Dr. Seuss used to come to this zoo every day and draw the animals and plants from here. Right here. Every day. These plants on the right, you're going to recognize all of them right out of the Dr. Seuss books. There's Horton's Way, named after Horton Hears a Who. And way back there, the first of many elephants wagging her ears. Oh, that's an Asian elephant, female. African elephant, a little bit further back. You'll see big barrels hanging from the trees out there. Welcome to San Diego, where we are extremely proud of our Mexican heritage, and we should be. We are named San Diego, California. And as a result, we were the first zoo ever to give our elephants piñatas. That's what those are. Giant elephant piñatas. I'm not making that up. They fill them up with food. They knock the food out with their trunks like kids would use a stick to get candy. And it is great exercise. And they got to get exercise in that trunk. There are more muscles in that trunk than a human being has in their entire body. They got to get exercise in the trunk. And other zoos saw how much our elephants love the piñata. That they took the idea, but they did not know what a piñata was. They're not from San Diego. So they started, they came up with names in English that were the worst. Giant pachyderm food hanging dispensary system. Really? Really? Come on. Just say piñata. How tough is that? On the right. Oh, I love these long green trees. You recognize them? The most popular tree you find in all the Dr. Seuss books. They're the Madagascar version of Ocotillo. The long green trees, the top. As they come around the corner, the most advanced facility ever built for elephants in the world. Conrad Krabbe's Elephant Care Center. And as fancy and as advanced as it is, people still say it looks a lot like an elephant car wash. Okay, fine. I see that. I see it. And I love it. There's a little gate over here. The elephants put their feet to the gate. They love to get manicures and pedicures throughout the day. They love getting their toes done. They hang out. They read People magazine. Talk about how male elephants won't commit and they don't spend enough quality time together. As we move ahead on the right, here comes my favorite elephant in the world. He was hiding earlier today. The first group to see him today. This is Ranchapur. Biggest elephant we got. Oh, he's huge. And we're getting a good deal. I'm going to make a special stop here for the photographers. Are you big elephant fans? Yeah, I know we got a couple people in the back and the lower. This is just for you guys. I'm going to throw in all the new stuff, so listen carefully, because I talk kind of bad. Here we go. Not the best profile view from my angle, I'll be honest. I didn't line myself up very well for it. Elephants. Elephants have amazing hearing. Those ears are so powerful that the elephant can hear things that are both above and below what we can hear with our ears. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because there was a big study that went on for about 6 years where we couldn't figure out why. We had one rogue elephant by itself that would always find its way back to the herd, no matter how far away they were. It was driving us nuts. Elephants not only hear these sounds above and below, but they also give off to each other low frequency infrasounds that are so low we can't pick them up. And if you want to know where they are, look on your car AM radio dial. That last bandwidth right there on the left, they hear there and they give off sounds, and they're not random sounds. There's actual communication going on. Some sounds are for warning each other, and some sounds are for attracting each other. We have people sit out here in the hot sun every day recording elephants like they are right now, and they're not making any sound at all. They run that through audio filters. We proved it here. We proved it in 4 other zoos, so it is true. They've always been talking back and forth. Our ears are not developed enough to hear them. Brand new information came in all the way from India. This is just less than a month old. Brand new stuff. Elephants are sympathetic animals. Have you ever been at home and you're sad or depressed? Your dog knows you're sad. So your dog comes over and it sits right next to you, rib cage right up against yours. It's trying to cheer you up. That's how they cheer each other up out in the wild. Well, when an elephant is sad, the other elephants know this. They're sympathetic to it. And they all make a circle around the sad elephant. And they all put their trunks on the one in the middle all the same time, like a Busby Berkeley musical. They're all no, from the aerial shot. Am I the only one who knows what that means? Sorry. Yeah, they all put their trunks on the one on the inside in order to cheer that one up. Now, we always knew that elephants were doing stuff like this, but nobody wanted to deliberately depress an elephant to find out. So we had to wait till it happened naturally in India. You know, people always talk about how an elephant never forgets. You always hear that. And they always talk about how smart they are because their brain has a lot more memory capacity than a human being's brain, but they don't process the same way. The center that I guess you would call the CPU of the elephant brain doesn't function the same way that ours does. But to give you an idea how much memory they have, a mother elephant was separated from her baby for 25 years. And she recognized her baby as an adult and let her back into the herd. They have a 25-year memory at least. Most animals look in the mirror and they think they're seeing another animal. Elephants look in the mirror and they know right away that they're looking at their own reflection. So they're smart and a little bit intuitive on top of it. And also their territory is so big. They have out in the wild, their territory is roughly the size of Rhode Island. It's huge. They know every left, they know every right, they know every rock, every tree. They are very, very smart animals. Those are the elephants. Are you getting enough information? Good. As we move ahead, we got the one-hump camel coming up. And ever since that silly TV commercial, I cannot avoid people doing this. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with you. I'm giving up. I'm going with this myself. By the way, look, hooked animals all sitting in a circle looking different directions. Remember I told you about that? All right. On the other side of the wall, you'll see the one-hump camel. And there's another one-hump camel right next to it. Hey, Mike, what day is it? What day is it? What day is it? Hump day! There we go, the one-hump. But the only guy on the bus who has insurance is so frightening. On the right-hand side, the only reason why I still work here is the California Condor. Believe it or not, a few years back, I had my own show on the Discovery Channel. When I returned to San Diego, I got so much angry email. Wow, people went crazy. They all said the same thing. Zooman, why would you ever work in a park where you've got animals inside enclosures? Well, I'm going to handle this one right now. We don't like animals in cages either. And if anybody ever asks you the big difference between this place and a lot of other, number one, we are a conservation organization. The only reason we exist is for animals whose numbers are lower. We get their numbers up high enough. When it's safe for them, we send them back out in the wild where they belong. Big difference, believe me. We're not here to make money off the animals or exploit them. We're a non-profit organization. Believe me, that's reflected in my paycheck. It's all about the animals here. California condors, when I first got here, there were 22. That was it. In the wild, in captivity combined. Beginning of this year, 2014, there are now well over 400 California condors. Half of them are back out in the wild where they should be. That's what we do. If it didn't work that way, I would not work here. Coming up on the right, we got stop number 4. There are 4 stops total. I'll show you stop 1 in a little bit. Stop 4 is great for Elephant Odyssey. It's also wonderful for, if you want to try some organic food if you've never done it. I'm not a big fan of the organics, but I went in there. It was a great lunch. One of the nicer places. If you want to have some lighter fare, you don't have to worry about GMOs or whatever it is. Feeling a little vegan today, you can go in there. On the right-hand side, we're looking for meerkats. I love the sun, so look around the rocks and the trees. Oh, look, right down in front. Right down in front. Right there, right there, right there. Kids, look! Look what I'm doing. Hold on. I'm over here. Over here. Why am I going out of my way on this one? Because your kids will recognize this animal from, stand up, come on, you can do it. From the Lion King cartoon, there was Pumbaa and Timon. That's Timon. And when I say that's Timon, I don't mean that's an animal that looks like Timon. I mean Walt Disney Studios came here and drew our animals. One of those is the real Timon from the Lion King cartoon. So you can tell your friend you just saw the real one at the San Diego Zoo. As we move ahead, on the right, past the guy with the shaggy hat. Here we go. Oh, we've got our Kopi exhibit. Kopi, K-O-P-J-E, also pronounced copy. It's Dutch or Afrikaans for rocky region. Inside that rocky structure, you've got Maasai cliff springers and Cape Rock hybrids. A beautiful all-black bird called the Bateleur. Eagle Bateleur is French for acrobat. Look at this tree. It's backlit for you. Look at this. This tree, you recognize it? I believe this whole canyon area is the original Lorax tree forest from the Lorax book. And you can actually, remember this? Yeah, you can actually get out the book and go tree for tree right off the hillside. Now, in real life, those are aloe plants and aloe trees. But I got to warn you, not aloe is aloe vera. If you try to take a piece of that and you put it on your skin, you're going to break out. There's going to be redness and blisters. Please, learn from my mistakes. I lost a week of work on this one. So do not put anything that's growing here at the zoo on your skin. Only a few variety of aloe is actually good for you and will help you heal up, okay? On the right-hand side, let me see. We have a couple of llamas. Yes. Como se llama? Where are you?
Zebras
Como se
are
llama?
there?
No, not down there? Oh, look way back there. Right behind the rock. You see the camel? There's a two-hump camel back there. Yeah, he's lying down. People keep asking about the humps. Is it what's with the hump thing? Here's the deal. There's no water in there, but I know where the myth came from. Both the two humps stand up straight in the air at the beginning of a desert run. By the end of the desert run, they're flopping over. Not because they're using water, but because their body fat is inside there. They're working off the fat with the exercise of being on the run. And they can go for like a week without water easily, and of course after a week they will come in and they will drink 32 gallons all in one go. The whole thing goes up, and then you've got 2 weeks without food. So naturally they're very, very effective at moving things across the desert. In fact, they're called the ships of the desert. They're so good at maintaining their fat to muscle ratio, one of the few animals in the world that actually gives off low-fat milk to their young when they nurse. And please don't ask me how I know that, but I did win the company bet. On the right-hand side, we've got a tree kangaroo hiding up there in the tree. They're a little different from the other kangaroo because they got smaller feet and longer tails for balance. Oh, look here on the right. See all this mist? That's for the koalas. Now, you probably heard we have a brand new area called the Australian Outback, and all they ever talk about is the koalas. But then you get here, and you find out it's not just koalas. There's 3 solid acres of brand new stuff, including a walk-by bird sanctuary. You've got the outdoor theater, and instead of 8 or 9 koalas, we now have the largest collection of koalas outside Australia in the world. 22 on any given day. And there's so many koalas all feeding on eucalyptus at the same time. In the morning when we first put them out, the eucalyptus will break off into the air. You can stand at the end of the enclosure and breathe through your nose and clear your sinuses. It's like the world's largest vaporizer. When we get the sun to our back, I'm going to show you the koalas up close. Let me show you something now that I've worked for many years to see. I don't know if you can see looking in the sun. There's a rhino on the right, greater Indian rhino. Try to miss him. 1.5 to 3 tons on this guy. And they move at about 25 miles an hour. It's a lot of animals to be moving at that speed. When his brother is in there, the brother sneaks up behind him and gives him what can only be called a foreign surprise. And yeah, that's that's when they usually move at 25. So you guys on the right, keep your limbs in. Thank you so much. It's going to be very close to this pouch. Yep, I warned you. I'm still warning you. Keep your legs inside, guys. That would be bad. On the left-hand side, you can go your whole life and never see one baby giraffe. Look to your left, sitting down, surrounded with the adults on all sides, like I told you. Two baby giraffe right there, sitting down. I'm going to stop the bus. It just doesn't get any cuter than this. Honestly, they're lined up for your pictures. It's so pretty. They're so pretty. I can't take it. All right. Get a good view, because you can't. Usually you never see them this well. I'm not kidding. I've been down to zoos. Sometimes you see them in a giraffe house, and they're surrounded on all sides with walls, even as close as Escondido. They're so far away. You never get this close-up view. How do we get away with this? Look to your left. Look at the wall. The wall here between us and the giraffe. I mean, I'm 6'1", and I can step over that thing. Okay. Look at the giraffe. Why don't they step out and walk around the zoo? Giraffe, the tallest living land animal, are afraid of their own height. They hate to lift their feet off the ground over about an inch. They really hate lifting their feet up. I've ever seen giraffe fight when they get angry. They plant their legs in the ground. They knock each other around with their heads. It is very painful to fight with your head. They would rather do that than lift up their legs and kick each other. And we don't know why. We just have theories. Some people think it's because their eyesight is so bad. They're about 25 yards out. Everything's kind of a blur to a giraffe. Some people think that it's because they're just kind of awkward. Ever seen giraffe run? Anyways, like there's this little bit off-center. My favorite theory, and this is just a theory, it's called the first memory theory. You see, all the moms of the giraffe species, they do everything standing up. Their young's first memory on the planet is when they drop 6 feet head first to the ground. I think that's enough to scare anyone permanently, but of course, your theories are as good as mine. Congratulations, what a great deal. The two babies, they're so cute. Okay, I'm done. I could fawn over them all day. It's all right. The little girl there, born December the 22nd, little boy, only a few weeks old, born the day after Father's Day. As we move ahead. Left-hand side, a donkey and a zebra. Hello, donkey. Hello, donkey. The Mediterranean donkey named Sophia, after Sophia Loren. Not because Ms. Loren has a personality like a donkey, but because they both have the beautiful long eyelashes like the gorgeous Sophia. Who, by the way, still gorgeous. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bushes, he laughs. Kookaburra laugh. Kookaburra again, your life must be. He's right here in the front. Kookaburra right there. There he is. Doesn't even look real, does he? He's right there. Not bad. On the left-hand side, it's not really a laugh. It's, yeah, that's kind of what they call a laugh. Come around the corner. You ever do something and realize, man, I've been here a long time. I've really been here. On the right, stop number 1, the most important stop of all the express bus stops. Come back here, see the baby giraffe when you get done with the tour. Get a close view of the koala, then get on at stop 1. Look to your left. Here come the koalas. Koalas in the mist. On the left, let's see, there's up top branch. Look at the top leaves on the left-hand side. There's one sleeping right there. Should be another one. Oh, look down here on the lower cluster of branches. There's one sleeping there in the trees. Yeah, they're there. You got to get an angle on them a little bit. And further up here. Koalas are not bears, they're marsupials. I know. They're cute, cuddly like a teddy bear, so everyone's called koala bear. But don't feel badly. No name is perfect. The name koala. Me and 4 other scientists actually believe the name koala is a derivation from an Aborigine word, which means no drink, which is not true. Once in a blue moon, they actually will take a drink of water. They get a majority of their moisture from the eucalyptus that they feed off of. The males are on that side. Those are the ones we're just looking at. These little ones over here, these are the females. And then where there's females, there's babies. So when I drop you off, you got to take this little walkway in the back there to our left. Go back there, see the baby koalas in the pouch. There should be 2 of them back there. All this area is all the, these are all part of the Australian outback. And there's a beautiful planter here on the left-hand side. There's supposed to be 3 birds that were just brought in. Hold on. hobby. It just occurred to me, I really need a hobby. Oh, so it's over all too soon. Oh, all right. I'm going to drop you off, but when I do, I'll let you know where everything is one more time, so listen carefully. If you make a left from the unloading dock, you go back the way we just came. That's where you find stop number 1 for the express bus. You'll also find the baby giraffe and the baby koala. If you make a right from here, everything looks really familiar. You make a right turn from the unloading dock, you got the closest restroom and restaurant for the kids. You've also got the only entrance, followed by the only exit. Then you got the Children's Zoo, Sky-Fari Ride, Megaforce Bowl, and the Clowber Shaw Reptile House. My name is Chris Clowber. They also call me Zoo Man. And for a group that had to wait for 20 minutes for your bus, you were a very, very nice audience. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And to San Diego Zoo. Thank you.
Kind of lucked out.
I'll be upstairs to get you off the bus as fast as I can, kids. And if you took a picture on the bridge, they do a great job with them. They got them here on the wall for you to check out. A good portion of that money goes right back into the animals and conservation. We really appreciate your support. Without you, the zoo does not exist. This is your zoo. Get out there and see it.